My best friend manipulated my wife into cheating just to prove he could.
Well, I guess that's a way to lose a friend.
Look, I'm already feeling like an insecure idiot for even writing this, but I need an outside perspective because my wife just shut me down when I tried to talk to her. By the way, this comes from itchycause4211, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Dakota.
I'm Angie.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, my wife, Sarah, 28 female, and I, 30 male, have been married for 2 years. My best friend, Mark, 29 male, is basically the brother I never had. We've been a solid trio since Sarah and I started dating 5 years ago. I thought it was great that they got along so well. It made everything easier. But lately, I'm just getting this gut feeling that their relationship has shifted. It feels like they're a unit and I'm the nice guy who brought them together. It's a million little things, like they're always texting. If Sarah has a bad day, she's venting to him before she even gets home. Last week, she was super stressed about this project, and I asked her about it that night, and she just casually says, "Oh, I already talked to Mark about it. He gave me some good advice." It's like all her emotional crises, big or small, go to him first. I feel like I'm getting the filtered, day-old version of her life while Mark gets the live feed. Then there are the inside jokes. When the three of us are hanging out, they'll just start going back and forth, laughing at some random reference. I have to literally interrupt and ask, "Wait, what are you guys talking about?" And they'll both be like, "It's nothing." Or give me this brief half-butted explanation that just makes me feel dumb. It's constant. It feels exclusionary. They are just so physically comfortable. That's her boyfriend. She's a cuddly person, but if Mark is on the couch next to us, her head will be on his shoulder, or they'll be leaning into each other talking about a show they both like. It looks completely innocent, but it's more physical and relaxed than she is with some of her female friends, because she's cheating on you, at least emotionally. I finally tried to bring it up last night. I didn't yell or accuse anyone. I just said, "Hey, love that you and Mark are friends, but sometimes when you two are talking, I feel a little left out, like I'm interrupting a private conversation." She immediately blew up, not yelling, but freezing cold. "Are you serious right now? Are you telling me I can't have friends? This is insane. You're being so insecure and childish." She called me jealous and said I need to grow up and trust her. She said it was offensive that I would even hint that anything was going on. Maybe she's right. Mark is a great guy. He would never do anything. He's actively doing something. And Sarah is loyal. No, she's not. Dude, open your eyes. But why do I feel like the most important parts of her life are being shared with him and not with her husband? Because that's what she's doing. Why is she so defensive? Because she's cheating on you. It's making me doubt myself and the stability of our marriage. I feel like the backup friend. Is this really just my massive insecurity, or is it normal to feel so deeply uncomfortable when your spouse treats your best friend like their primary emotional outlet? I honestly don't know if I'm the a-hole here. The blow-up anger and making this all about you is a definite red flag. If my husband would address a concern like that, I'd be mortified for giving him the wrong impression and talk it through, because that's what you do when you love someone. If she's incapable of reflecting on her own behavior to see if maybe you have a point, she's either guilty as heck or extremely immature. Both are serious concerns. There is an update. I just don't care about anything now. I just want to disappear. You all are right. She is cheating on me. That witch is stupid as F. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me tell you what happened. My best friend and I went out alone. I asked him about his relationship with my wife. He said, "Everything was fine." I think he thought I was being sarcastic, but I'm not. I asked him about how they are so close that I'm feeling like an outsider between them. He said, "Sorry for making me feel like that, but nothing happened." I pressed him a little bit, and that's it. I wish I didn't press that mother effer. He said
You wish you didn't?
Wait, I'm sorry. This guy's going, "Because nothing happened." And then if he says, "Are you sure?" And he goes, "I love her because she's fun, and I wanted an ego boost that I could take your girl if I wanted." But this witch fell in love with him. She told him that she'll leave me if he's okay with it, but he rejected her. Then he said if she's capable of cheating on me, she's also capable of cheating on him. Well, I mean, yeah, but weird logic. Dang, in my whole effing Reddit life, I use this statement: if she's capable of cheating on her husband to get with you, she might as well be ready to cheat on you to get to someone else. Never did I think that this sentence would be used in my life. He also said they slept together 4 times. I didn't ask him when exactly because I just went cold and numb.
At least she kind of got what she deserved here.
I mean, yeah.
Because, like, he literally pulled the, like, she's like, I mean, I'll literally, like, leave my husband for you. And he
Yeah.
goes, oh, no, I don't want you. You cheated on your husband. That's disgusting.
I mean,
You're
they're
for the
just all a bunch of-
streets. I'll never trust you again.
Yeah, they're all terrible people. At this point, I'm just laughing at how pathetic my wife is. Well, I cut him off. He begged me, but I ignored him. Went home, confronted her. She denied, played dumb. But bro, she had the audacity to call me insecure and controlling. That fact made me colder than a witch. I said I'm gonna divorce her, and she started crying and begging me not to, and started saying she loves me. I wonder why she does that if she truly loved me. She wouldn't say she wanted to leave me for my best friend. That witch is a waitress after all. She has no goal, no ambitions. I think she loved the stability I provided more than she did me. But I don't mind providing it to her if she's straightforward and honest. She just kept begging. I tried to leave and she held my legs. I just broke free and ran away, literally like a coward. I went to my sister's house, an hour-long drive, and just knocked on the door and crashed in the guest room bedroom. She tried to talk to me, but I wouldn't talk to her. I think I should. I'm still on the bed here. My phone is literally bursting with calls and messages. I turned on airplane mode so I could type this. While I was coming home, my best friend called me. I thought I didn't want to talk to him, but I did want to hear what he had to say. He said my wife called him to come to her home, but he declined, that he doesn't want to ruin our friendship. Writing this gave me some clarity, I guess. It's just funny how pathetic she is to think my best friend really is in love with her. And I feel bad that she's alone now. No mutual friends know this. Should I tell everyone or just divorce and proceed? Let's start with divorcing. Let's start with that.
I agree.
Unless you have like some really good friends who you think will actually support you and you need to get this off your chest, then sure.
Just
there
make a
are
get ready
some
with
comments.
me.
Yeah.
Get ready with me
One
while
of
I
those
talk
makeup videos.
while I talk to you about why I no longer have a wife or a best friend.
Yeah. But there are some comments. Divorce her and tell everyone what she did and what your POS friend did. They don't deserve any sympathy. No sympathy for cheaters. OP replies to comments after learning his wife was manipulated by her affair partner. I am so eager to learn how she spins this. I have no problem with them sleeping together. I don't care. I don't want to control anyone because I'm struggling to control myself in the first place. I'm literally hurt because I might still be in love with her, that she's alone crying, and he denied her. This hit me when he said, like, why do you want to hurt that poor crying girl if you really loved her? Your friend said that to you? Your friend said, presumably when you were like, yeah, I'm leaving her, he was like, why would you want to hurt that poor crying girl? And then OP continues, why does he think his side deserves respect? For manipulating? Okay, I don't think it's manipulation, but he didn't love her. She loved him. He made her believe he loved her. Isn't that unfair to her? But there is a second update. I don't understand why people are saying they might get together. I want to say to them that I really don't care about what my wife and best friend do.
What do you mean you don't understand why people are saying they might get together? They cheated. She cheated on you with this guy.
I
He
think
said
you need to
he
get off
loves
Reddit.
her.
I think you need to get off Reddit, OP. That's my advice. In fact, I'm actually a little bit more happy at least she's not alone. By the way, you can be not alone if you listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime.
I want this guy to leave me alone. Are you
Leave me
serious?
alone.
What's
dude.
going on here, man?
There's a little bit left of this story, but ay. But the thing is, he rejected her. That mother effer is using that same dialogue. If she cheats on me, she also cheats on him. That she's not trustable. And she ended up lonely. Still, no one shared anything to mutual friends. As I need some time, I'm starting to think that he might be a sociopath or something. There are a lot of unfair things in the world, and if we think about that, we spend our whole life feeling bad for others. Please don't care about this post at all. And thank you all for your help. I was blind when I wrote post 1, but not anymore. I think you're a little bit blind still, but that's
I think
okay.
you need to talk to a professional
Yeah.
to really get things sorted
I think
out.
you need a new prescription
I think
mentally. You need a new
a me-
emotional
you need a new
prescription.
mental prescription for mental glasses.
Clarity, mental clarity.
But
But that's the end of that story, folks.
I tried to save my wife from her past, but it didn't end well.
You can't save me from my past.
I, 46 male, have been married to my wife, 45 female, for over 20 years. We have 3 teenage kids, and until recently, I would have said we had a wonderful marriage. But looking back, I think out of pure love and obsession, I've been seeing things through rose-colored glasses. By the way, this comes from user Independent Drive 544. If you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Angie.
And we are here to give you good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do, so if you would do something else, let us know in the comments. And OP says, we met in college through her best friend. She had a tough upbringing. Her mom was very young when she was born, and her parents were never married. She didn't meet her biological dad until her 30s. Her mom is not a good person, and they are no contact now. Until my wife was a teenager, she shared a bedroom with her mother in her grandparents' house. They were more like sisters. As a teenager, her mom married another awful person after having an affair with him. He was divorced with 2 kids, slightly older than my wife. Imagine merging 2 families with teenage kids after their dad cheated on their mother and forced them all into one house. My wife endured countless horrors as a child. She was never complimented growing up. I have never heard my mother-in-law compliment her. My wife was always smart, did well in school, and helped around the house. She was and is very pretty. Her mother only criticized her constantly. To say this has taken a mental toll is an understatement. I've loved her with every sense of my being and supported her through therapy. And I am by no means a perfect husband, but I've tried my best to be supportive and loving. Fast forward to today, my wife obviously has a lot of issues stemming from her childhood. I love her more than anything, but it hasn't been easy. I've borne the brunt of some pretty outlandish treatment, and I'm wondering if I've been blinded by love and if this is not a safe and healthy environment for me. I don't know if I could ever leave. I don't know if I could do that to her or my kids. But I'm starting to feel like I'm only here to provide support financially, emotionally, physically, and with parenting. About 5 years ago, we went to a beach location for a long weekend with a lifelong friend of mine and his family. One night, while leaving an amusement park, my friend and I asked the wives if we could grab a drink and watch the end of a baseball game at a nearby bar while they got ice cream next door. Everyone seemed fine with this. We were gone maybe 30 minutes. When we got home, my wife lost it. She couldn't believe I abandoned the family. That was the first time she lost control. She did awful things and I just froze. This pattern escalated over the next few months. She slammed the shower door, breaking it, and trapping me, unclothed, inside. If she hadn't brought me a screwdriver to remove the door, I'd still be in there. Right before the holidays in 2019, my wife had a disagreement with my daughter. My wife made a mistake and said something she shouldn't have, but instead of simply apologizing, she turned it into the Third World War. After my daughter went to her room, punished, my wife and I went to our room. I tried to calm her down, but she wanted me to match her level of outrage. I'm over 6 feet tall and a pretty fit guy.
Okay.
My wife is almost a foot shorter and maybe 80 pounds lighter. I sat there frozen and afraid. I didn't even want to grab her hands out of fear I'd be blamed for the fight and arrested. She was unhinged. After this, I freaked out. Our kids heard the commotion, and we later had to talk to them about it. I told my wife this wasn't safe for me. She had a near breakdown out of fear I would leave her. She discussed it with her therapist. We went to couples therapy for the first time. I've come to realize that therapists, or at least the ones we've seen, focus on the patient with the most needs. Given my wife's past, she has the most mental health issues, so that's where the focus was. The vid came, and the couples therapy stopped. We tried again last year, and that was worse for the same reasons. My wife is very beautiful and gets attention anywhere she goes. I have always complimented her, her beauty, her intellect, how wonderful of a mother she is, how incredible of a cook and hostess she is. She's amazing in so many ways. I think I'm good looking, but nothing special. I'm in good shape, but I'm going bald, and I've aged. I was fine with this for a long time, but as I started to age, I felt somewhat insecure. I looked for reassurance from her about my physical appearance, and she didn't come through for me. She had never really complimented my appearance our whole relationship. One night after we were intimate, She told me how small I was. I always thought she was pleased, so hearing a complaint in that department was quite a blow. She later admitted she said it to hurt me out of some sort of anger. She wasn't even sure what she was mad about. Not long after that, I asked her what was physically attractive about me. I was just looking to feel better about myself, and she told me there was nothing.
Oh
Those
my
were her
God.
words, and she was kind of shocked that I was taken aback and hurt by it. She tried to walk that back over the years. Around that time, I said I was feeling anxiety over work and the kids and life for the first time ever. I asked if she could try to be more supportive. She said no, that she was already a good wife and was providing support already. She couldn't do any more.
This is my maximum support level. That's all you're gonna get.
Your
I
wife
feel
sounds
like
like
if
a
you're-
real Georgia peach.
Yeah, I feel like if you're going to therapy and this is what she's like, I think it's time to say, hey, I'm not seeing any changes here. And maybe, I don't know, maybe we go to the doctor, but like, I can't keep living like this.
Yeah, at some point you just got to be like, you're a nasty little lady.
You're nasty.
And I
You're
don't
nasty
like
lady.
spending my life with you because you make me
Yeah.
feel bad.
You make me feel really bad about myself.
We talked through a lot of it. I expressed how it made me feel, and she apologized. She's way more giving of compliments than she's ever been now, but it feels forced. Like she's only saying it because I asked her to. My wife has a massive fear of abandonment and massive trust issues. Oh, so
there
she's
they
yeah,
are.
okay, never mind. So maybe
Yeah.
she's not cheating on
She's
you.
pushing you away.
She's just doing the thing where it's like, I'll make him leave so that because I know he's going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
She regularly accuses me of cheating. I have been nothing but faithful. I travel about 3 days a month for work, and she regularly wakes me up in the middle of the night to FaceTime to see if anyone's in my room. Obviously, there's never been anyone else in my room. One night last year, I had to travel to give an important presentation first thing in the morning, and I'd prepared for weeks. It was stressful. My wife and I spoke around 10 p.m., talked for about half an hour, and I went to bed. At 2 a.m., I woke up to banging on the hotel door. She had somehow convinced the hotel manager to check on me because of an emergency. I realized I had maybe 10 missed calls and 30 text messages from her. I had been asleep. So we FaceTime, and we confirmed there's no one in the hotel room with me. She wasn't sorry. She was mad it took her so long to get a hold of me. I was now wide awake and had to give this presentation, then work a full day and attend a work dinner on basically 3 hours of sleep. My wife has always been insanely jealous of other women. My first boss after college was like 4 years older than me, and her husband worked at the same company. My wife hated her because I would talk about her. I basically gave up any female friendships I had. Bachelor parties were particularly an issue when all my friends were getting married. She hated the idea of me going to the spicy dance club. Neither of us had spicy dancers at our bachelor or bachelorette parties. Some friends of mine did go to these clubs for their bachelor parties, and she wanted me to attend but stay in contact the entire time. I would literally text her nearly the entire time describing the situation. This happened 3 or 4 times, and when I got home, I got the 3rd degree. She examined me, smelled me, examined my body for evidence, and examined my underwear. And then this last one, I said I didn't want to go. Why is she doing all this if she's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't find anything about you attractive.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's
This is
nothing.
a relationship that needs to end, honestly.
Also, were you touched by a single like woman? Like even like because if you were, I will literally rip you in half. That's crazy. That's insane. I think you need to divorce.
Yeah.
She wanted me to go and stay in touch. She promised to back off some, but she didn't. At one point, a bouncer came over and told me to put the phone away when I was texting, so I did. All of this would have been no big deal. These bachelor parties all happened over 10 years ago. Recently, she was talking about her best friend's bachelorette party from years ago. My wife was the maid of honor. She had always insisted she never went to a spicy club ever. Well, recently, my wife mentioned something about men pulling her friend up on stage and embarrassing her. I asked where this was. Even in that moment, I wouldn't have cared. I trust her. Or, until all this, I fully trusted her. She insisted this was at a typical bachelorette party restaurant that wasn't a spicy club. I said it felt like she wasn't being honest. She was offended. She's like, I just went there for the wings.
What are you talking about?
We were just there for the lemon pepper
It's
wings.
the food. It's really good.
Don't understand.
I wasn't there for the
I wasn't there for
people.
the men.
I wasn't there for the men. What are you talking about?
I wasn't there for the men and their bodies. I said the real issue was that she thought I might have put her through the same thing she put me through. But she doubled and tripled down. She goes to the other room, texts her best friend, and comes back to show me. She asks, "Did we go to a spicy club for your bachelorette party?" Which seems like an odd question to ask out of the blue. The responses seemed odd too. So I asked, "Is this the full text exchange? It feels like something is missing." I look in her deleted text, and sure enough, there are deleted texts. I restore it, and the response from the friend is, "Oh, that is a definite yes." So I look at my wife, shocked. She says her friend is wrong. Now I'm annoyed, asking what happened that you would lie about this. What did you do? We have an argument where I'm gaslighted unbelievably, and she doesn't remember. Her friend is wrong. Oh, that's why she deleted the text. She didn't cheat or do anything wrong. No real resolution, but she promises she'll figure out exactly what happened. Fast forward about a month to a holiday party. We see her best friend for the first time in a few months. They talk a lot. We leave, and 20 minutes later, she's in the passenger seat when she gets a text from her friend. It includes a screenshot from one of their other friends, and the text says, "Wife and I just cannot remember what we did for the bachelorette party. Do you remember?" The response is this whole description of a comedy show they went to. The entire thing is so contrived, it's almost comical. There's no way this is true, and it's so clear they discussed this at the party and came up with this plan. I feel so manipulated. My wife is almost giddy reading the text and saying they've now solved the mystery. I have no idea what happened at that bachelorette party, but the whole story and the lying was so unnecessary. I wouldn't have even cared if they went to a spicy dancer club because I trusted my wife. But this story has made me lose trust. And now all the abuse over the years is coming back to me and making me see things differently. Have I ever been loved? Is my wife capable of love? Did she cheat on me? Am I the world's biggest fool? I love her and the family we have created. Obviously, there are so many positives in our relationship that I didn't list. But can all the positives in the world make up for this? I don't know about all the positives in the world, but I do know about that one positive, and it's that you can listen to full episodes with stories like this. On your favorite podcast platform, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, just search OK Storytime. We do have a little bit more story left, but how does one make up for this?
You don't. I think this is a marriage that has been failing for a while. And I think OP's finally realizing, wow, this isn't okay. And I think I want to encourage you to just not take that anymore and know that honestly it's going to be best for your kids and you in the long run if you're in a healthier state of mind and not in this relationship. And she gets the help she needs.
I've got to assume that this is sporadic.
I think so. I think OP's
and
always
not
shocked
consistent.
by it. Yeah.
I got to assume, no, I guess he said never. She's never complimented you.
Yeah.
She's only ever insulted you
Well, maybe
and said that she doesn't like anything about you physically. That's really rough. I know she's gone through a lot and has trauma and stuff in her upbringing.
But that just means that she's not ready for, wasn't ready for a relationship when you started this. If she hasn't worked through that, it's not your cross to bear if she's not able to be in a relationship that's healthy.
Yeah. I think it's at the very least separation.
Yeah, I agree.
And then trying to maybe make it work while not being together all the time.
Yeah.
But then realistically, you're probably going to find your peace from divorce, brother. And there is an update. I had a lot of conversation with my wife. We've actually been apart all weekend. She sent me a long love bombing message, which was very nice and said a lot of the right things. But she's just talking, That can be nice, but until those words become consistent action, it's just a love bomb. Same story on her friend's bachelorette party, so it's all kind of silly. That's it? That was the update?
I hope that you leave her. My husband's innocent friend crossed the line, so I confronted him.
This line is broken.
My husband and I have been married for 6 years and have been friends for 11 years total. No kids. It all started around April of this year when my husband reconnected with an old female friend from high school. They began talking, even had a couple of calls, and I didn't think anything of it at first. By the way, this comes from Mental Fatigue 09, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Dakota.
I'm Carly.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, my husband has always had more female than male friends. He's kind, very anti-macho man, and easygoing. So I understand why women feel comfortable around him. This has never been an issue. When we began dating, he introduced me to his female best friend at the time, and she was a blast. 0 bells. But with this girl from high school, something felt different. I've never been insecure about a relationship or his friends, but then I began to notice these little things. She'd call him bestie and say these exact phrases. You're the only one I can talk to. Don't disappear on me. You're the only friend I've ever had. She would also send pictures and videos of what she was doing, from work, outfit pics, selfies, and even a few mirror pics and a video showing off her room. Another thing that felt odd was that she claimed to have severe social anxiety. So after being alone in a new country for about 7 years, she didn't have a single friend, just 2 acquaintances. Her words. She had a lot of stories like that, all about very bad things that had happened to her and how everything always seemed to go wrong. I couldn't tell if she was being honest or fishing for a pity party. Later, I learned that when they first reconnected and he told her he was married, she responded with, I'm glad for you. You know, I think you don't remember this, but I had a crush on you back in high school. I even sent you a long text about it before I moved abroad, and you just responded with something like, oh, thank you for telling me. I never said anything else. I got embarrassed and deleted everything. The confession was sent right before she left to live abroad. Mind you, they hadn't talked since high school, and she was moving away about 5 years later. So it was all this time without hearing from her, and then she sent that. I met her twice, and she seemed nice, but then she was making plans over the phone to do things with my husband one-on-one, like, we should have a picnic, buy desserts, and share them over a movie, buy air-drying clay and sculpt figures and poorly paint each other. These are all plans she suggested. This seemed off to me because while she acted nice, she never tried to include me in any of these plans. They never actually did any of it, and it went on and off for a few months. For a while, my husband even stopped talking to her because she's always complaining about something bad going on. It's a lot. I don't like it. Eventually, they resumed talking though, and she still made me feel uncomfortable somehow. I realized I was starting to feel jealous and a little insecure, which I have never been prone to, so it surprised me. And after a few weeks, I brought it up with my husband. He assured me she was just a friend and it was nothing to worry about. He was also surprised because I've never been the jealous type. Despite me bringing it up, the situation didn't change much. They just seemed to talk less, but her attitude was the same. I tried to work through it by myself, sought advice, read a lot, wrote down my feelings, and even talked to a close friend for outside perspective. I only brought it up once again, but the conversation kind of diverted, so it wasn't really helpful. Despite this all, I couldn't bring myself to like her at all. When I decided to bring it up the first time, he said something that had me thinking. I thought something like this might happen because it happened before. He had a very controlling, intense, and kind of mean girlfriend in high school. And when she saw my husband and this same girl being friends at the time, she forbade him from talking to her altogether. Because my husband was 13, young, and malleable, he just stopped talking to her and ignored her in class. Thing is, this past mean girlfriend forbade him from talking to any girls at all, not just her. I knew of this mean ex-girlfriend already, just not in this context. Then, last Saturday, as my husband was in the bathroom before we went to bed, his phone chimed with a notification. When I looked, without ill intentions, my eyes just skimmed the suddenly lit screen. I saw her name pop up in the open chat sitting there. Once again, it was a longish text of her saying how she could only talk to him about her issues and how thankful she was to have him back in her life. Most of his answers were fairly platonic. Maybe 1 or 2 that made me frown a little, but nothing worth worrying about. He listens to people, so I really do understand that she'd feel comfortable talking about her issues. Still, it seemed that she was putting all of her emotional weight on him. She had okay moments too, where she acted with what seemed to be purely platonic intentions, so it made me wonder if I was reading too much into it at times. It was reading that text that sent me spiraling down a terrible rabbit hole of negative thoughts. I spent the entire night unable to sleep at all, and brought it up with my husband once again the next morning. I'm as transparent as one comes with my emotions, so he took one look at me and asked, "What's wrong?" Except I wasn't calm and meek like the previous times. I was a mess. I told him everything. My fears, how I've been dealing with my own emotions and thoughts regarding this for months now, how I'm sure he doesn't see it and thinks it all is platonic, and how I trust him. But it's her that was too much, especially because she seemed cloaked under this poor harmless girl attitude. I got a little worked up towards the end, but we sat down and he said, tell me everything. So I did. He was quiet for a while and then said very clearly that I am his priority and that he'd never put anyone above me. He apologized for anything he had said that hurt me, even if it was by accident, and said that if I'm so upset about this girl, then I'll just stop talking to her. Part of me wanted that. Part of me felt relieved to hear that. But I am too self-aware to not see how that can be damaging to our relationship in the future and create resentment, and I told him so. Still, he assured me that it was the only thing he could do. He didn't know what else to say about it, but he was glad that I spoke to him and didn't keep this bottled up inside any longer. I understand him not knowing what else to say because to him this came a little out of the blue since I had been swallowing my emotions for months instead of properly talking to him.
Well, I do think that there is something of like, yeah, it's like if you just in a relationship are constantly being like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't see that person, you can't do this thing.
Yeah.
And they're just like, okay, then sure, that could breed resentment. But like if you bring this to your partner and then they're just like, okay, well then I'll just like not, I'll remove that as a variable. And and then you're like, yeah, but won't that make you hate me later? And he's like, no, I mean, I don't know, but I'm willing to do that right now. That's okay.
I think you just we read a lot of stories where people are like, oh, well, I don't want you to, no, I don't want you to do that. And it's like, I don't know, they're offering.
That's the solution.
Yeah, that's the solution.
And it doesn't have to mean that he's going to hate you later.
Especially, I mean, if you're not doing it, just like be aware of, is this something that you're always doing? Or is it just in this case where this person is crossing a line?
It's when it's every single person. That's when it's like, okay, that's not. Or when it's like, yeah, the thing that you love doing the most, I hate that you do that. You can't do that anymore.
That's different. Today he seems perfectly fine, yet I can't help but feel guilty about this. My husband doesn't have many close friends, and he seemed happy to be getting close to this high school friend again. But she didn't seem as harmless as she made herself to be. I just don't want to be like his controlling old high school ex-girlfriend. Lastly, I'm debating if I should talk to him again and ask him about how he feels sometime this week after he's had a hard time to process it better. Though I don't think he'd say much, he's never been big with words. Or if I should just let it go and work on improving our relationship and trust. Did I do the wrong thing? Update. I've been doing some thinking, and now that I have told my husband everything, it feels as if I can finally look back in hindsight and notice things that I was trying to convince myself were harmless. I thought my anger and frustration were unjustified, but if I never cared about any other female friends, why would I suddenly be so bothered by this one if I didn't have a real reason? Because she didn't act like just a friend. She wasn't incredibly upfront, as I've read other stories in here where the new friend almost immediately went for a confession and let's run away together plan. But it was as if her small actions were an attempt to chip away at my marriage, all hidden under a false pretense. That, or she's really clueless and didn't realize what she was doing. I know some people latch on to others as a trauma response, and she's gone through terrible things. And it seems that the only friendship she ever made back then was with my husband. Still, she needs to seek proper help then. And if that's not the case, then she really needed to go. Even if she believed herself to be completely innocent, the way she acted implied the opposite. I decided to talk to my husband one more time just to make sure my point came across properly. Though I never suggested he should stop talking to her, when I told him everything that's been bothering me, his immediate response was to stop talking to her. He didn't phrase it as, do you want me to? But as, she upsets you, so I won't talk to her anymore. Perfect.
That is the blueprint.
Yes.
For how to do that.
So it feels good somehow to know that I didn't put these words in his mouth and that he offered to end the friendship himself. By the way, you can offer to listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
I mean, you got to be able to talk about stuff in a relationship.
Yeah.
And I remember at one point I was in a relationship and I said something along the lines of like, yeah, like, I don't know, like, I just don't think I'm like, how did I put it? Basically, after talking, the conclusion was like, yeah, as long as we never talk about any relationship issues, then we'll be fine.
It's terrible.
Which was not good.
That's
It
bad.
was very bad.
Bad.
And you can't have a healthy relationship that
If
way.
you never talk about the issues. But there's a little bit left. Still, I wanted one last conversation to let him understand my reasoning. Now that I feel better and will be able to talk about it without being a mess. And so that he had time to process his emotions. It went okay, honestly. He listened and said he seemed okay these days because he's truly been okay. He's not upset about the friendship, and the only thing that did upset him was that I bottled up my emotions. He told me, we need to tell each other how we feel. You need to tell me these things. If something upsets you or hurts you, I want to know.